G'day everyone, it's Justin and
Scott.
Two dads again from BRRRRRM Australia, coming to you today from a 2018 Mazda 2. Now mate, you've had the Mazda 2 for a couple of days again.
I have.
Yep. So Mazda 2 is a very, very popular car in Australia. I thought we'd drive one of these because I guess, you know, if you're a parent with older kids, you're probably getting pestered by them for the first car, aren't you? Like, come on,
or you're
Mum
not
and
getting
Dad.
access to your own car,
Yeah.
so you may need to get them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, you know, I reckon a lot of parents, what they do is, you know, all right, I'm going to buy you the first car, but they start looking at, you know, old second-hand cars and things like that. I guess it depends how much, you know, you love your kids, isn't it? So but I personally think, you know, like, you know, you want to give your kids the best you can, I suppose. Instead of a used car, you know, there are some really good affordable new cars on the market that have far more safety features than, you know, say you're looking at a 5-10-year-old used car, isn't it?
That's right. I think that's quite often been the argument, right? So second-hand ones are always going to have less safety. There's always been more and more built into these things. So it's always an attractive option to try and buy the latest and greatest to put the most safety, wrap the most safety around your kids, I think.
Yeah, because these days, you know, you drive, especially in Sydney, you're driving around. I mean, the traffic is horrendous these days. You know, the police are cracking down on all sorts of safety issues, like, you know, touch your mobile phone. I think even if you're a P-plater, you know, you touch your mobile phone, you know, you're gone. That's it. You can't drive, sort of thing.
I think one thing I was saying to you just earlier is I think for kids, you know, if you're buying the first car for anyone, if they're not used to navigating around the streets and through traffic and everything, nav is just such an amazing enhancement to the driving experience. So when you're not used to changing lanes and you're not used to having to, you know, go through freeways and get off at this ramp, the nav just makes it so much easier, and I think that adds so much safety. Yeah. And it's great that it's an option on this car, and I've really enjoyed having it the last couple of days. It's been great.
I agree 100%. I think, you know, I think they're better off actually having less distractions by having all those features in the car rather than on their mobile phone where they're tempted to actually
keep the mobile phone away.
Yeah, exactly right. So, mate, the one we're in today, this is the Mazda 2 Maxx, which is the one above the entry-level model. There's four models. There's the Neo, the Maxx, there's the Genki hatch, they call it, and a top-of-the-range sort of GT one. But having a look at the specs of all the different Mazda 2s, you know, personally, I reckon this is probably the best in terms of bang for your buck.
And I think we've seen that in a few of the other models that I've looked at closely. Is the Maxx is quite often the sweet spot on the models. I mean, it comes down to personal choice, but for me, quite often that seems to be the real value for money.
Yeah, I mean, even though you can get like a Mazda 2 Neo automatic, we'll talk automatics, okay? Because most, you know, people want automatics these days. You can get a $16,990 list price automatic Mazda Neo. But, you know, for a bit more, this one is $19,690, so it's under 20 grand. But you're getting probably a lot more better features in the car, as you said. You know, you've got the 7-inch touchscreen here. In the Maxx, nav is an option, though. It's about $995, but highly recommended. The Mazda MZD system is, you know, it's a pretty good system to use too. But also too, you know, parents out there, like, first car for kids, insurance, that's always a biggie, isn't it? Because you don't have the experience, you're driving a car, insurance company's going to hit you up. But
time immemorial, that's been a big issue. Yes.
Yeah, for us when we were, but this car has Mazda's Smart City braking support thing, which is like city braking. So the car will actually, you know, if you're not paying attention and it thinks you're going to run in the back of somebody in front of you, it'll brake for you. Same, and it's got it in the rear as well. So, you know, if they're not paying attention and they're reversing out of something, it will actually do that for you too. I mean, the Mazda 2s all come with rear parking sensors as well, which is a good thing. So, and I think as we drove in the Mazda 3 recently, it's got that G-vectoring control. So, you know, the handling is pretty good too there. So, 5-star NCAP rating. safety as well.
So, big tick.
Yeah, which is good for a modern car. Some of those, second-hand cars that, they may have good safety features in them, but, time's moved on, isn't it? So that's right.
Yep.
Mate, how does it drive? What do you think?
It's terrific. I think one of the things about doing all the car reviews that we do is I love, high performance cars and some of the really funky cars.
Yep.
But just as much as I think I enjoy when we review some of these cars that are built to a pretty tight price point, and what they pack into these cars is amazing. So I think this combination of this one in the Maxx, with the nav, there's nothing I didn't want when I've driven it for the last couple of days.
It's got Bluetooth, it's got cruise.
Yeah, it's a beautiful steering wheel,
yeah,
great
leather
seating
bound steering
position. The finish inside is for the price is really nice.
It feels very upmarket, doesn't it? I mean, you look at the trim on the dash and the doors. I mean, the seats in the Maxx. It's like you said, a bit David Jones-ish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Houndstooth. The thing looks pretty good. So, it presents really, really well.
Yeah, and over the last couple of days, I've taken it out to the fringes of Sydney and out on some open roads and things, and it's more than capable up, doing 100 kilometres an hour.
Yeah.
And then, yesterday I was in the middle of the city and just getting in and out of things, and you mentioned the parking sensors and the rear camera. So easy just to park this thing in and around the city.
Yeah.
It is a really easy little city car to play around with. I was very impressed, I've got to say.
And it's nimble too. It's fun. It's got it's got your sports mode, which is
It
cool.
does. I was really excited when I saw the sports mode, and you know what? It's like it doesn't do a lot, but it really just starts revving the engine out, and you get a little bit extra fun. So you've got that if you want to play with it. Yeah.
Exactly right. Any negatives that you think of?
I couldn't come up with one, to be honest. I think I'll just, obviously the it's a smaller capacity engine. It's a bit buzzy at times, but that's a small car, right? And but it goes well enough around the city to do what it needs to do.
Yeah, the engine actually is a 1.5 four-cylinder engine.
Yes.
Puts out 81 kilowatts at 6,000 RPM, 141 newton meters at 4,000 RPM. The thing only weighs like 1,053 kilos, so she's a lightweight.
Yep.
But the Maxx combined fuel consumption figures 4.9 litres per 100 k's for an auto. That's bloody good, actually.
Incredible. Yeah. I saw it from full, like 500 kilometre plus range, so you're not going to be filling this thing up very often.
No, which is really
unless you're
good.
really doing some big kilometres.
Yeah, the Neo actually, I don't know if you're aware of this, but it comes with a sort of a lower spec 1.5 litre as well. So the fuel consumption's a bit higher on that one. It's got a little less power, a couple of kilowatts, a couple of newton meters here and there. But the Maxx comes with the more, I don't know if you want to say high performance, but the more upmarket sort of 1.5 litre. So I'd recommend going for the Maxx.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And I mean, for me, the other day, yesterday, we took the whole family out and we went to do the grocery shop.
Yep.
The boot is quite deep. It's not big, but it's really deep.
It drops down, doesn't it?
Wow, the whole big grocery shop just swallowed it up in there. So it was really impressive. No one was complaining about lack of legroom. I wasn't adjusting seats forward to make some more space.
Yep.
I really don't have many negatives about this thing at all.
Yeah, I mean, for kids these days too, it's got the USB ports, the power outlet, and everything like that. But hooks up to your Bluetooth, everything. Yeah, it's pretty good. I guess, look, scratching around for a few things that probably I thought were a little bit of a negative. Armrest, no armrest.
Yeah, I felt that. Yeah, sorry, I forgot that. Day one, I was noticing that a lot.
You can get it as an accessory. It's about $450 or
something
something.
for people to think about. Yep. I've got used to not having it already after driving it for 2 days, but yeah, first I noticed it. Yep.
Unfortunately, at the moment with Mazda, no Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, because most people, they want to synchronise their phone, but unfortunately it doesn't have that. But it has got internet connectivity for Stitcher and all that kind of stuff and that. So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, I suppose. But also too, 3-year warranty, 10,000k service interval.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. We harp on that a fair bit, and I suppose that's been with all the Mazdas that we're reviewing. They're still at 3-year warranties. Yeah. Where we feel like everyone else has moved a bit forward on that. They build great cars. Yeah. Maybe Mazda, it's time to go to a 4 or 5 year warranty.
I can't imagine like too much is going to go wrong on one of these.
That's
things.
right. Yeah.
Styling. What do you think of the styling, mate?
It's great. Great little car. I think from inside and outside, it looks really good. You mentioned earlier around how many have been sold in Australia, and I suppose I sort of knew that, but it was only once I was on the road that I was like sitting next to another one. There was another one in front of me, and another one 4 cars up. And you know, the old model, this model, they look great. I think they've done a great job of them. I mean, it's only a little car, right? So there's only so much they can do, but it's really well done,
isn't it? I mean, it's got that Mazda look about it, but no, it's still quite modern in the way it looks. So it's really good.
Yes.
So, anyway, just want to put out a big thanks to our friends at Mazda Australia for the loan of the Mazda 2 this week. And I've got to say, you know, for all the parents out there, if you're looking at something as a first car for someone in the family, have a look at the Mazda 2. It's not a bad little thing, is it?
It's very good. Yep, highly recommend it.
Anyway, we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.